So when I arrived here about a year and a half ago, I've not heard of EDClass before, and they were using it, but not in a really effective way, whereas I came in and kind of understood what was happening and spoke to Paige, our account manager, and tried to get a real understanding on how we can best use EDClass. So we now use them for on-site or off-site provisions for our students. Some of the examples of that are if a student can't make it into the school, for example, because they've got a broken limb, or if students are really anxious and can't be around big crowds. Again, that's another one that we can use instead of using alternative provisions. And also we use it for students that we potentially are waiting for a supported transfer. So it's like a stopgap to be able to kind of use that and making sure that they're not missing out on any gaps in their learning. So EDClass is really good at implementing that and getting them sorted straight away. So Bluecoat Beechdale, we have something called the BBA way, which is all about belong, believe, achieve. Our ethos is to make sure that our students feel safe and they can believe that they can achieve great things here. We've got a place called Engage, and that's to try and help some of the students that we feel aren't really mainstream ready currently, and sometimes they do struggle with accessing actual lessons with 20 to 30 students in them, and they do struggle with putting their hand up, asking for advice or asking for help. Whereas on EDClass you can pop a message in, it's private, and then the member of staff can say, do you need any help? They can pop up and help them. We're trying to change and adapt their behaviours, but as well as getting the learning and the education that they need. And we have reintegrated students that struggle with attendance, and they're back in the building and doing really well. We had a year 11 last year who really struggled academically in school, but was thriving on EDClass. So it just shows you, that every single learner and every single student learns in a different way.
I like being on EDClass because it helps me with my learning.
I think EDClass has really helped the students not fall behind with their mainstream core subjects. So down here they will have access to maths, English and science, and they'll generally be following the same curriculum that they would be if they were in the mainstream lessons. So it just enables them to not fall behind during the 6 weeks that they're with us.
That's one of the reasons that we do use them, the fact that they are getting top tier education rather than just being given a piece of work and a resource and just getting on with it themselves. They've actually got a qualified teacher that can go through with them, so that's working really, really well, and there's less gaps in their learning now due to the fact that they're getting top tier teaching, which is great.
We're generally on top of the safeguarding, but if there's anything we do miss because we're doing another task in the room or helping another student, we then get that alert and point of view, and then we can address that.
If some of the students feel unsafe or they're not understanding something, then they'll flag it up, and then we'll get a phone call from team members that are really good, like Paige and Linda and Sophie. They've rang me in the past and said, one of your students has flagged up as a safeguarding concern, can we go and check on them? And then we just either ring the parent or go around to their house, or if they're on site, we'll go and make sure that they're okay. So that's a really robust system that they have in place, that as soon as it happens, we get a phone call and an email follow-up to just ensure that our learners are safe, which is good for our safeguarding team and good for our peace of mind as well.
Yeah, I'd definitely recommend EDClass, certainly because the staff that are in the room, we're not teachers, we are mentors, so the students are still getting that high quality education from EDClass that they would be getting in a mainstream school, so yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
All of our schools are using this platform. I've also mentioned it to schools outside the trust because I feel like it's something that can be really benefited from a lot of standpoints from different schools.